Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your reading for the middle of November 2025. You have this cassowary card, says resolute, warrior spirit, and defense. You have this mermaid, which is you, Pisces. It says femininity, allure, and charm. So you could be very charming at this time, of course. I would be putting yourself out there. I do think that this whole warrior spirit thing makes a lot of sense for you, especially next year. Even though, yes, I understand it's November, it doesn't really matter. I think it is a good time to tap into that, warrior spirit of yours, Pisces, that energy of not giving up, the energy of, really making something a success if you're working on something. And, I feel if you do that, you'll be very successful. And like I said, I would start now. I wouldn't wait until next year. But, again, with all that energy going into your second house, Aries, basically. And again, yes, even if your second house is not Aries, doesn't matter. We're speaking generally here. In general, Aries is Pisces' second house. In general, it will affect you all the same, basically. There you go. I forgot your last cards because I was ranting and raving. But you start here with the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is slow progress. It wouldn't surprise me. Today is the 14th, and it wouldn't surprise me if the first 2 weeks of this month you feel a little bit behind. I'm talking about November, of course. So maybe you've been feeling a little bit behind or slower. I think it's just the retrograde. Even at the beginning of the month, the retrograde didn't start until the 9th, but it doesn't really matter. I think that Pisces was probably feeling it almost right away. And, things have maybe felt a little bit slow. The Knight of Pentacles is no progress. He's just like standing here doing nothing. And he has all this potential behind him right here. So, I think it's time to embrace that warrior spirit, like I said, Pisces, and to start, kind of like bringing things down to earth and start making things happen. Now that we're getting closer and closer to the middle of the retrograde, you should notice that that kind of like retrograde, mud or whatever it is, or quicksand, is kind of like going away. And you should be able to make a little bit of progress here in the middle of the month, which of course is a good thing. Your crossing energy is the Three of Pentacles. Crossing energy can be what hurts you or helps you in a Celtic cross. The Three of Pentacles, number one, is teamwork, which of course is going to be very important for you over the next many years, just based off your astrology. You even had Pluto in Capricorn in your 11th house for a very long period of time. Your 11th house has to do with your community and working with your community, but what's even crazier than that is you had Saturn there back in 2016 in Capricorn. So it's like you've learned how to work together, or you've been forced to learn how to work together with other people. And now it's time to like actually do it. now it's time to kind of like do things to work with people that support you, right? The important thing about the Three of Pentacles is that these people are supporting his vision right here. So it's like saying you have to put your vision first, like what you want out of life, what you want to create in the world. The other thing about the Three of Pentacles is you have to put something on display. And so I think there's a little bit of bravery, with that cassowary that says warrior spirit on it. I think there's like a little bit of bravery that needs to come in here for you to like put whatever it is that you're creating or working on out into the world. And, it's really, the thing for Pisces is that it's time for your next step, And what I mean by that is like whatever you've been doing for the past like 10, 20 years, it's time to do something else. And that doesn't mean you're going to quit. It just means, that you could be leveling up what you're doing. You could be taking it to the next level. You could be putting it out into the world in a different way, And all those things are going to be important. It's funny to me, you end with the Chariot. The Chariot's all about setting yourself apart. And, making yourself unique, making yourself stand out. And that's what I feel this reading is saying. You have all these cards. I mean, you even have the Sun card in the next row. You have the Star. You have all this stuff that's like about, kind of standing out. Next, in the area of what's on your mind, you have the Five of Wands. Five of Wands can be regrets and sadness. Again, we do have this Mercury retrograde. It is happening in your 10th house, in Sagittarius. It will retrograde back into Scorpio, but, for the most part, it's a 10th house retrograde for you, Pisces. And so you could be thinking about regrets in career or, pretty much anything that you consider to be an accomplishment. It's like everybody reads the 10th house as career, but, really, it's like any accomplishment. there could be, and it's any milestone in life as well. Like if you think you're supposed to be married by the time you're 30 or something like that, and you're not, that you could be thinking about that. It doesn't mean you're going to do it. It just means you're thinking about it. And so, again, the Five of Cups can be regrets and sadness, but the trick with the card is we have to practice gratitude. We have to turn around and see these two cups, then we get this bridge and this castle. So I would be making sure that you're practicing gratitude. I also feel it's like time to let something go. Here, Pisces, it's like something that you have to let go. It could even just be a habit. It's like maybe, I think that, let me back up and say this. I feel like you get very close to doing things. And it's like you get to a certain point and then stop. And I feel this card could be talking about like follow through or making sure that you push through those parts where you normally stop, right? Next, in the area of your foundation, you have the star. Also follow through on the star, believe it or not, because she is about to dip her toes in the water here. But my thing with the star is, especially right now with Pluto and Aquarius, it's like we have to go all the way. We can't just really, dabble in something. If we're going to do something, we have to commit to it. We have to like do something that is consistent. And so I always tell people, it's like, should you be committing to something fully during a Mercury retrograde? Like, maybe not, but you can commit to something without committing to it. And how do you do that, right? So what you can do is you can come up with like one step that you are going to take to get closer to your star, and just take one step every single day. It's like not this big, huge freaking commitment. It's just like a tiny little thing that you're doing, and all you're committing to is like the daily practice of something. And if you do that, you will get much, much closer. I think it's no mistake that this card is coming up in your foundation, because the star wants you to bring something down to earth. It wants to have a solid foundation, right? And a great way to do that without overcommitting is just coming up with like one little thing that you do every single day where, it doesn't even have to take that long, right? Where you just take one step towards, a goal, wish, or dream. Because what will happen, Pisces, is if it's the right thing for you to do, is that, maybe after a couple weeks, you're not going to just take one step a day. You're going to take like 10, because by taking those first few steps, you're going to get super motivated. And then you're going to be taking like 10, 20 steps every single day, right? And if it's the right thing for you to do, if it's the wrong thing, then you're probably just not going to feel motivated at all. And, there you go. Next, in the area of your past, this is your the energy you're moving past. You have this Gate card. It says a barrier keeps you from your goal. Yes. You have the Sun card. It says your perseverance is rewarded. Yes. Taking one step a day would be very perseverant, Pisces. I think there have been many barriers, to like what you're doing. I think even for Pisces that you could be thinking to yourself, like, anything that you're working on in your life at all, period, doesn't matter what it is. There are probably moments where you say to yourself, this should work. And you're probably right, but there have probably been some barriers that you've had to like work through or overcome. And, that has been the biggest challenge. The Sun is definitely another attention card. So, I think that for a lot of you, it's saying, something needs attention. You have the Moon, which is your card, Pisces. I don't think you're leaving yourself in the past, although maybe, Pisces, maybe you are kind of like leaving yourself in the past or leaving something in the past. I'll tell you, I had like a crazy dream last night, and it's like I was introducing a friend, like this person. I don't know who the person was in real life, but I was introducing a friend to a group of people, and they were changing like in front of my face. They were like turning into a different person, and then like I had this thought in my head that I was like, I noticed a glitch in the Matrix, right? That was like the gist of my dream. And because I noticed this glitch, like people were chasing me because like I saw something that I wasn't supposed to see. And the dream ended. I was looking in a mirror and I was looking at myself, like sleeping in a bed. But I was like outside my body, looking in a mirror, looking down. Craziest dream I've had in a while. I like literally woke up and I was like, like taking this deep breath. It was like a little bit of a kind of scary dream in a way. And, but the weird thing is, the reason I'm telling you my dream here, Pisces, is because I'm a Pisces, obviously, and it's like I kind of took that dream as a change, like leaving part of me in the past. It's like I was looking at myself through a mirror on a bed, sleeping, and I was outside my body, And so, I don't know. I feel like there's something in that for you, Pisces. It might trigger something for you, but, the moon, it's like there could be a part of yourself that you are leaving in the past. And, what I think it is when you say, I don't know, is really what's popping into my head with this moon card. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. I think if you think back to things that you've tried to accomplish, it's like maybe you do say to yourself, I don't know a lot. Like I don't know what to do. I don't know what my next step should be or whatever. And, I feel like changing that, not saying it anymore, could be very helpful with this card. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this never-ending story and this round-around card. They're basically the same thing. They basically just represent a repeat story over and over and over again. I kind of feel like this is saying a story is not going to repeat because you have the Ten of Cups. I feel that some of you have the Ten of Cups here also in the area of the very near future. I think some of you have like resigned yourself to the fact that something is going to repeat. It could be in love. You do have good love cards here. Even in the area of your closest relationships, you have the Page of Cups, which definitely could be an admirer. But I feel like some of you have maybe experienced the same story too many times. But, the Ten of Cups is, like I said, fortune after difficulty. It would kind of say you're getting something better than you expect, or there's something that is, like, happier coming in for you. So if you are looking for love, this could be very good. I feel that this is also saying you need to bring more happiness into your life. And so that means like you have to do things or go find things that make you happy. And I feel like the more, coming from more of that inspired place is going to be very helpful for you, Pisces, because of Neptune and Pisces, right? Where at the end of Neptune and Pisces, you need something that inspires you. And it doesn't even have to be related to what you're trying to do. Like if you're trying to start a business or get a new career, it could just be something fun that's inspirational. It all connects. Everything connects here, right? Speaking of the Matrix. So, I think you need to realize that you have to do things that are fun so that you can attract more of that energy and good things can happen. Next, in the area of your outcome row, you have this direction card. It says uncharted territories, align, new experiences, yes, find your way, inner compass, exploring and searching, chariot. You have this murky thoughts card. It says worry, doubt, pessimism, lost hope, insecurity, confusion, lack of focus, depression, uncertainty, and concern. Pisces, right here. And so I feel like you need to get out of your head a little bit, this month. I really feel like this week, the first week of the second half of the month, the week of the 17th or whatever it is, I think you're going to start to feel a lot better this week, and there could be a lot of clarity, actually, because, again, the retrograde weakens in the middle. It's always strongest at the beginning and the end of the retrograde, but the end is usually not as bad as the beginning because we've learned what we needed to learn, and then we kind of, move past it at the end. So I wouldn't be too worried about this, but, I do feel it. Next, in the area of the next few months, pretty good. You have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is like fulfillment, wish fulfillment, getting something you wish for. It's about being in alignment as well. I feel like a lot of you are kind of getting back on the train here, Pisces. I use train analogies a lot with you, Pisces, because I feel like Pisces is the little engine that could. It's like I think that is who you are. And I feel a lot of you are kind of getting back on the train. It's like maybe the beginning of this month was a little bit of a stop. It's like you had to get off the train and switch to another train, and there was a little bit of a break in between. So, I wouldn't worry too much if you felt lazy or, if you feel like you didn't accomplish much at the beginning of this month. I think things are going to start speeding up again, and this is going to be good for you, but could be a lot of wishes or a lot of fulfillment coming in for you. Again, Ten of Cups to me is an action. It's a very good card, but those clouds exist above their heads. They have to the cups exist above their heads. They have to bring those cups down to earth, and so to find fulfillment, and that's what I would do with the Nine of Cups as well. In the area of your closest relationships, you have the Page of Cups. Definitely could be an admirer coming in for you here, Pisces. Again, it is a good time for love, even though it's Mercury retrograde. Yes, I understand that. People always remind me of that, and yes, I get it, but, it doesn't matter. still, that's not going to like stop someone from being interested in you. So I think you have an admirer. I don't think, some of you, I feel like you have no clue. It's like you don't even know, Pisces, that you have a secret admirer here. So if you're looking for love, there could be a person making a move here with the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups can also be just good friends, like making good friends. Again, it is a great time for socializing for Pisces. So if you're meeting new people, making new connections, any of that stuff, I think would be very good for you. I kind of feel like you're like deciding, if you have been socializing, you could be deciding who you like and who you don't like as well. And I don't know, it's like you could be opening up more. I kind of feel like an energy of blossoming here, Pisces, where it's like you're opening up socially, which of course is good. Next, in the area of your future feelings, you have the Lovers. So some of you definitely could be finding love. I do feel if you're finding love, it feels very motivational to me. You have the Chariot right after it. It's like, sometimes I think if we find a good relationship, it can really motivate us to do more in other areas of our life. And, I kind of feel like that's happening here. This could be a very supportive person. And it's like, maybe that's the problem, Pisces, is that, past people haven't been very supportive. And, if you find a person who is very supportive, then obviously that can be a good thing. On top of all that, with the Chariot, this to me would be a choice. Traditionally, the Lovers was about making a choice. And you have the Chariot, like I said, and the Chariot, he's making the choice to leave the city behind him behind. He's charging forward in a new direction. And so, if you've been waiting, I wouldn't really call this a breakthrough, right? But if you've been waiting to have that like aha moment where you're just like, yes, I'm going to go this way. I'm going to do this thing. I kind of feel some of you could have a little bit of a light bulb moment, whatever you want to call it, where you are maybe getting clearer on your direction. Again, you have that direction card. It says finding your way. Maybe that's a good way to put this reading. It's almost like, the beginning of the month maybe was a little bit slow. I feel that for you, Pisces, or maybe you're like, how is it already the middle of the month? Like I am. Like, I'm like, how the hell is it the 14th? Like, I don't even get it. And so, some of you might be wondering that. But I also feel you could be kind of like, it's like you're downloading information or something that's helping you pick a direction here. I think your higher self is helping you. This is your higher self angel. But we have these clouds right here. And so the clouds kind of say that these people don't know that they're being guided together. But, we're talking not about love here. We're talking about a direction. And so I think for some of you, it's like, whether you realize it or not, I feel you are getting like the sign, symbol, synchronicities that you need to move forward. You have the Chariot charging towards a victory. This is your outcome card, and so you could be charging towards some sort of victory or big win in your life. Chariot is about setting yourself apart as well, so I think a lot of you really could be setting yourself apart here, which is going to be good. Again, I think everybody should probably set themselves apart this year, or not even until like 2033. And so that's 2 threes. People keep saying, why are you talking about 2023? 2033, right? And so we're talking about 7 years from now. I feel like, like clean out your ears, right? But, what I would say is between now and the end of Uranus and Gemini, you're going to be picking new directions. It is what it is, right? So let's clarify this, Pisces, and let's see. With the Knight of Pentacles and the Three of Swords, you have the Page of Swords. Yeah, a really good time to be curious. I think Mercury retrogrades are good for curiosity. They're good for learning new things. They're good for, doing your research and looking for new answers or new directions in your life. So I think it's great to do that. With the Five of Cups, you have the Seven of Swords. Yeah, I feel like you have to let go of past hurts here, Pisces. Especially going this way, right here. The Seven of Swords could say that you're, and like all this, could say you're meeting a new person, but maybe you were cheated on or lied to or whatever in the past. And so now you think everybody does that, but, obviously that's not true. Not everybody does. So I think this is kind of encouraging you to get out of your head. Now, one thing I will say is that the Seven of Swords is a card of just doing things in a different way. He's stealing these swords from this army in the background and he's sneaking away. And so it's about tactics. And, I think with, again, Uranus and Gemini, even though Uranus will be in Taurus soon, in the middle, depending on when you're watching this, it moves back in the middle of the month. it doesn't matter. It's already been in Gemini. And Uranus in Gemini is really good for kind of like tactical consideration, like coming up with, instead of just charging right towards something, even though you could be doing that with the Chariot, it says, is there a better way? Is there a way you can come up with a plan? Like I said, taking one step every single day or something like that. If you do that, you'll have a much better outcome. With the star, you have the Hierophant. I mean, the star and the Hierophant is blessings, really. He's making this symbol with his hand, and that symbol represents a blessing. So, I don't know. I have nothing else to add to that for you, Pisces. I feel there could be some blessings. With the moon, you have the Queen of Swords. Yeah, it's like searching for answers, basically, with that moon in the past, and the sun, that sun card, and also this card that says a barrier keeps you from your goal. It's like you've been looking at how to get around these barriers, how to overcome them. And, I think that, over here, you're like clearly charging through things, so not even worried about it. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Justice card. Yeah, Justice is about what you feed in this situation. Justice, we have two choices, two sides of the scale. Are you going to feed, what did this card say? Worry, doubt, pessimism? Or are you going to give energy to positivity, love, joy, happiness, peace, all those other things? And so I think you really need to make sure that you're paying attention to where you're giving your energy with the Justice card. Justice is cause and effect. It's like if we give to good things, we get good things back. And yeah, I know that sounds very simple, and you're probably doubting it because that card says doubt on it. But, still, I would try it and see what happens. With the Nine of Cups, you have the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles says, do not call attention to your weaknesses. Five of Pentacles wants you to focus on your strengths. It's like you are getting your wishes, but you have to believe it. You have to believe that good things can happen. And I also think you need to, I'm not saying you would do this, Pisces, but, over the next few months, I think you need to allow good things to happen. Like, don't, jump to, oh, this is going to fall apart, or, oh, this is going to, fail, or, immediately. Let things work is kind of what I feel on that Five of Pentacles. With the Page of Cups, you have the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, Three of Pentacles is twice in your reading. Definitely could be love. Three of Pentacles I do like for love because it's like two people who are working towards the same thing. It's like two people who want the same thing out of a connection. So there could be a teamwork connection coming in for you. Even if you don't want love, this would be good for any type of relationship at all, right? Period. So, that will be good. I also think it could be saying you are probably attracting very supportive people, just in relationships in general, and they could be really helping guide you towards whatever this achievement is with the Chariot at the end of the reading. The other thing is we have the Seven of Swords and Three of Pentacles twice. They all have these polka dots on their cloak, and polka dots in the tarot represent needing to have more fun. Polka dots in the tarot represent taking things too seriously. They basically say you need to have more fun in life. So, I would make sure that you're having fun. With the Lovers, you have the Ace of Swords. This is like what do you call that? What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I lost it. But, I feel like a confession is what this is, Pisces. I feel that someone could be confessing their feelings, really, this month. It could even, it could be the next few months, really. But, I kind of feel like someone is opening up here. So there you go. Don't be surprised because I told you. The Ace of Swords is also a victory. We have so many cards of victory here. Like, I really feel you have a chance to win. I think I said this in your Mercury retrograde reading, like the last weekend readings that I did for you. It just feels to me like you could have a victory. That does not mean you will have a victory. I think you need to make sure that you have a victory. It's like you have to push through that doubt, with that doubt card, confusion. It's like I think that the doubt and the confusion is more you saying, I don't know, but you do know. And I think you need to start telling yourself, I do know what to do. The funny thing is, it's like you could have it right now or next year. It's like the reading is saying to me, like, if you don't have this victory right now, you're probably going to do it next year. But I also feel like the reading is saying, don't wait, have it now. Don't wait till next year. This is like a win that you could create. And I think this is something you're working on, Pisces. So I would charge towards a victory. With the Chariot, you have the Devil here. The Devil, this could be about releasing bad habits or, releasing things. Some of you could be attracting like a Cancer or Capricorn. They are opposite signs, so if you're looking for love, definitely, could be a Cancer or Capricorn. With Saturn retrograde in your sign, responsibility is going to be very important for you, Pisces. Like, you're going to have to take responsibility and do things that are responsible, take responsible action. You have this ear card. It says good news on it. So there definitely could be some good news coming in for you. You have this older woman. It says dealings with relationships with an older woman. You have this chain. It says chain of events that will affect your life. Yes, I think that this is you maturing. Even if you're not a woman, doesn't matter. Sometimes I just think these people cards are the person I'm reading for. And I feel like you're making a lot of connections. We do see that in the reading. Like I was saying, it's like you're getting answers, or you're, understanding how to do things better. You have this hand. It says in need of help, assistance, or guidance. 3 of Pentacles twice in your reading, Pisces. Don't be afraid of asking for help or assistance or anything else. You have this July card in this funnel. It says period of frustration, lesson to be learned. Yes, you have been learning lessons since July. No doubt about it, for sure. Probably since May, really. And, I think the good news is that this period of time is kind of like coming to an end. Your last card here is the hammock. It says taking a vacation physically or mentally. Yes, it's time to take a break. I think, again, maybe the first 2 weeks of this month have been a little bit of a forced break where you feel like you didn't do anything. But I do feel that's about to change. So this looks pretty good, Pisces. I like it. Thank you for being here. Make sure to leave a comment. Really helps me out. And definitely enjoy your month.